Thanks for coming down and hanging out with me in the basement today. I've got a real treat. These passenger cars were the very first plastic streamlined passenger cars that Lionel put out. This particular series of cars was first produced in 1948 and 1949. After that they changed the colors around and whatnot, but these green with yellow stripe ones were the very first. So I think this is a really cool piece of history. These particular cars, came from the estate sale haul in 2023 that I got a lot of other cool stuff. And I got these for a real good price because they're not collector quality. They're not necessarily parts ones, but I looked at them and go, wow, that'd be pretty cool to bring back to life. We're going to get a closer look at these before I tear into them, and we'll run you through the process of what I do to get these back to being worthy to operate on the track. Okay, so what we got here is, this is normally a 3-car set, but we've got an extra Chatham 2402, which would be nice. I'm glad there's an extra one there. But here's the interesting thing about this set, because this is why I do not buy something used and toss it on the track. We'll just separate these into their individual cars here. So you give it a push and it doesn't roll freely. So that's kind of the main reason. You'll make an engine work a lot harder on that. So that's why I'm going to dig into these cars, do a full cleaning on them. The sides actually look pretty darn nice on all these cars. The windows are a little clouded. I could replace those, but for now I'm just going to clean it up. This car looks the worst with the windows being kind of pulled out of shape there. That one just kind of fell back in. They're just held in by friction. I don't even think they're glued. But this car needs probably the most work. But now that I know more about Lionel and I've taken apart a few cars, this is really easy. This just needs a clip on it. And since I don't run with the I don't use the electrical couplers here that these got on it, I'm not going to worry about replacing that part. It would have a sliding shoe like this one that would contact an extra rail in the track to uncouple, but I'm not too worried about that, even though this is a little broken, but it'll hook up just fine. But let's pop one of these guys apart and show you what's on the inside here. So these cars are pretty cool. They've got these like aluminum roof bolts, I suppose you could say. They look like little vents, and then the top pops off and you got a couple light bulbs in here. But what's cool about these light bulbs is they're 6 volt. You go, well, Jeremy, how can they be 6 volt? The trains operate on like 18. Aren't they going to burn out right away? Well, the interesting thing, which from looking at this I figured it out, but also looking in this book here, it shows the wiring diagram and they talk about it. They run the bulbs in series. So what that means is, instead of, I got some bulbs here, instead of taking 2 bulbs and connecting one side to here and track, and there and track, they put them in series. So power comes in here, goes from the outer case of this bulb to the center of that bulb, and then from the outer case of this bulb back to the track. So it's, if one burns out, they both go out. That's the downside of it, but kind of interesting. I'm guessing they did that for possibly, gosh, I don't know, possibly just to, maybe these bulbs are a little cheaper? I don't really know. Maybe a little lower transformer wattage is required. I'm just really not sure. But these are in pretty nice condition. They're not super banged up. Little scratches here and there. But since everything's all screwed together, which is great, we got screws right here, just going to pop it all apart and then give it a thorough scrub down. I thought about repainting these roofs. I'm sure somebody's repainted them. They look a little too nice. Yeah, you can see right there. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it in the camera, but there's a big gap where the paint has been chipped away. But I think I'm just going to leave them like it is for now. But these will look really cool behind a steam engine or a diesel. You know, especially something with the Alco FA. That'll be pretty sweet. But let's get started tearing these apart. So you saw how easy that roof was to get off. So what we got is we got a steel frame, and the body is kind of surrounded by the plastic body. So that's actually pretty darn clever of Lionel. They weren't positive the plastic would hold up, I'm guessing. So these cars have definitely been pulled apart before. These horseshoe clips are been in use, which is alright. I don't got a problem with that. I'll probably have to I'll definitely have to unsolder the wires. But I don't think I can pull this frame assembly out with the truck still attached. Yeah, so we only got one wire to unsolder. That's pretty handy. Oh, look at that. Did you see that? Right there. Look at that sucker. Boink. So we're going to be rewiring these as well, which is alright. Yeah, check that out. No problemo. Easy peasy work. Once you've done it once or twice, nothing wrong with it at all. Piece of cake. Alright, so let's see if we can use our pliers in an unauthorized way and open up this. Yeah, that one's coming up pretty good. Open up this little clip here. For the car that's missing, the car is missing the clip. I might have a scrap car I could rob some parts off of, or I've probably just got a circlip or something that I could use. Okay, it went flying somewhere. Not sure where. Oh, there it is. Found it. Put it right over here. There we go. Yeah, it's even broken down here. So since I'm not worried about the condition of the wire, I'm going to use a high heat soldering iron. It wouldn't really damage the wire anyway, but super easy just to... There. Easy peasy. And this soldering is a little substandard anyway, it's on here, so... There we go. 2 trucks off, ready to be cleaned. Oh, flat blade screws. Alright, very interesting. Makes sense. Time period it was. So let's pull these guys out of here. So I'm just checking this lettering, so it's heat stamped. You can actually feel the raised letters, because I was kind of questioning whether maybe this car had been repainted. It's been apart. But interestingly, the names Chatham, Hillside, and Maplewood are all local communities close to the original Lionel factory at the time, so that's pretty cool that they did that. This is the first car I've ever had apart, so we'll see how easy it is. Oh, look at that. Alright. These guys are certainly yellowed. I could replace it, but I'll just clean it up, and you saw how easy these were to get out, so I can always replace them later if I need to. I'm sure reproductions are available. These original cars, the first run of cars, these early models, did not have any silhouettes in them, so you could certainly change it, but... So, yeah. Check this wire. No, this wire is not damaged like this one is, and well, look at that one right there. Short right there. So, very interesting stuff. So, all I gotta do is dust this off a little bit. Yeah, you can see how dusty it is. I will scrub this down with soap and water. And the roof, even though the roof probably doesn't need it. And the biggest thing for these cars is going to be cleaning up these trucks. Because they're just kind of grimy. They're not really horrible, but just a little bit grimy. Maybe some... Well, I don't want to soak in the ultrasonic cleaner with this. Even though I'm not using the couplers, I could set them up in the end there. That'd be something. But, well, we'll see. Maybe just a little brake cleaning spray or something, or I don't know. I wish I could take them apart further. But, yeah. I'd probably damage trying to get the axles out. Oh yeah, look at that one. Let's see how this guy's been pried out. Yeah, they both kind of have, actually. Wow. Well, we'll see if we can... see if we can fix that. Yeah, it's bent right here. Alright, well, this is the kind of stuff you find when you tear into something, and that's okay. Definitely going to clean up this center roller here. Let's try a little bit right now. See if we can make it look better. Just a little Scotch-Brite. This is actually kind of corroded right where it's worn. Yeah, that already looks better already. Maybe I'll take the Dremel wheel to it. Yeah, that'll clean up nice. Alright, excellent. Let me get started on this and we'll bring you back to get everything put together. Okay, everything's all cleaned up and trucks are clean and working much better. That rolls really nice. Well, I could use black wire. You don't really see the wire anyway, so I decided to use up what I got more of, which right now is white. And this is the old wire, just to kind of show you how bad this stuff is. Just the insulation's just breaking away like nuts. So I made a template, and we got all of our pieces here. We're just gonna wire it up and enjoy the show. So we got everything all hooked up, wired up, and looking pretty good. I am using number 47 bulbs because I am into pinball and I've got a lot of these bulbs, and they're very similar to the original, I believe it's number 51 bulb. And what surprised me is these actually have slightly lower draw. I mean, I really wasn't worried about that. I got a big transformer. I'm not worried about melting the roof of the car, but as long as they were similar is what I was mainly going for. And it turns out the amp draw is actually less on the transformer, so that's pretty cool. Alright, so kind of had to tweak things around here to get this to fit in, but let's set the roof on this one. And we'll hopefully, since I've cleaned all the rollers up really nice and cleaned the wheels up, hopefully it'll work good. We'll see. Yeah, that looks better. Alright, power's off on the transformer. Now, I didn't polish the wheels, I just cleaned them with a toothbrush and some solvent, so they might need a little bit of more cleaning, but let's turn on the power. Whoa! Forgot I had this guy on the track. I'll pull him off. Come on. Thank you. That was a good surprise. I like that. Alright, let's see here. Here we go. Yeah, that looks really nice. Let's move the camera and see how it looks from the rear view. Yeah, that looks pretty darn good. I like that. Nice and bright there. You can see the red a little bit. Alright. Nice kind of even, well, not totally even, but pretty nice. And this should get better the more I use it, because like I said, the wheels, I didn't polish the wheels with the Dremel or anything, so I think it'll get better the more I use it. Oh, back to the observation car. I was just not happy with how this screw was fitting in here, and I tried to put it in here, and it's like, it only goes in like a half turn, or maybe a turn, just hardly at all. So this is why I have a tap and die set, even though this is a really cheap piece of junk tap and die set. Let's match up my threads. Oh, need a better screw than mine. That screw's horrible. Okay, I'm just kind of lining things up, and they match up perfectly. Alright, let's try to retap this. Probably end up with a stripped out hole is what I expect. This tap's just walking all over the place. We're not pressing down on the lamp socket yet, so... This thing's just going all over. Shouldn't be doing that, but hey. The main thing is, that thing threads in much better now, so hurrah! Alright, let's put the roof back on. Oh yeah, that is so much better. There. That looks so much better than it did before. A suitable one for the front. There we go. Much better. Alright, on to the next cars. So, another one of the tools I use is this solder sucker. It's called a Sodapolt. It goes by a few different names, so it's spring-loaded. You push it down to lock it. When you press this, you get a little burst of suction there. You can suck up your old solder with, and that really helps resoldering stuff. It's kind of makes you go from I don't know, just kind of a average person to like superpowers. So that's pretty fun. So all you do, just get your soldering iron in here, melt the solder. When it's all melted, just dump this down on it, actuate it. Here we go. Beautiful. Alright, we'll just get the extra little bits of solder off of there. There we go. Ready to be installed. Let's do a little rolling resistance test. I really worked a lot on these trucks. That's much better than what it was before. I'm quite happy with that. Well, there she is. Everything's all lined up and looking really good. I've got the 221 Streamline Dreyfuss locomotive on the front end, New York Central, and this is definitely an appropriate set for that because it's put out similar time to when that locomotive was. Alright, and I got in front of me a scale because I want to see how much heavier these are than these MPC era cars, which use the same molding, but they're not built in the same way. These do not have the steel structure inside. So we'll turn on the scale here. We got everything zeroed with that piece of track. Okay, we're 9.9 ounces, or 9.8 ounces. We'll pick this one. .07 ounces. Wow. Yeah, that's substantially heavier. Very nice. Alright. So the Dreyfuss is going to have all it can do to pull these, because that is a non-magnet traction engine. Get that out of the way. Get this car out of the way. Well, before we get it going, let's see how nice those lights look. I'm just going to pull the locomotive off the track here. Yeah, those lights look real nice. Yeah, it'll get a little better once the car gets going around. All aboard! No wheel slip. What do you think it looks better with? Behind the Streamliner or behind the Elko? So, what do you think? Was the effort all worth it? I certainly believe it was. And all the extra time I spent working on those trucks, which I didn't film, I think it ended up being worth it. Because to replace these trucks, it is possible. They do offer trucks, but they're probably like about 20 bucks a piece. And to add that all up with the cost of the train and what replacement cars to replace these cars with something similar, just wasn't worth it. And for 74 years old, they're pretty darn good in my opinion. Pretty darn good condition, and I am quite happy. I'm also happy they're part of my operating fleet now because I think they look really good. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you thought, and certainly check out the rest of the channel. Thanks for watching.